Strand was founded in 1927 by Benjamin Bass over on 4th Avenue's Book Row. Stretching from Union Square to Astor Place, Book Row gradually dwindled until, after over 93 years, the Strand is the sole survivor, now run by third-generation owner Nancy Bass-Wyden. We want to thank all of you for your support. Without our loyal community of book lovers, we wouldn't be here today, and it's so appreciative, particularly in the midst of a pandemic. But tonight, we are here to have fun, and we are excited to have with us Joey Skladany to celebrate the launch of his new cookbook, Basic Bitchen. Joey is a New York City-based writer, editor, TV, radio personality, and editor-at-large for Chowhound. His work has been featured in outlets like Food and Wine, People, InStyle, Travel and Leisure, and BuzzFeed. Prior to a career in editorial, he served as the lead publicist for hit TLC shows like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, My Strange Addiction, and My Crazy Obsession. In his spare time, he enjoys volleyball, traveling, worshiping Beyoncé, writing depressing poetry, interior design, and perfecting his stand-up comedy routine. He has also been struck by lightning. Quite the shocking experience. Joining Joey in conversation is Chris Kirkpatrick. Chris is a founding member of the multi-platinum selling Grammy-nominated pop group NSYNC. In 1995, Chris brought together the members of NSYNC, who shortly after signed a record deal with BMG Germany and toured all over Europe. After the success of their debut release in Europe, NSYNC went on to dominate the Billboard charts in the United States. Kirkpatrick has continued to work in the entertainment industry as a voiceover actor in animated shows such as The Fairly Odd Parents and Stripperella. In addition, he was a cast member on VH1's Mission, Man Band, and the second season of CMT's Gone Country, as well as the film Dead Seven. Besides his musical and entertainment industry accomplishments, he has also started his own nonprofit organization, the Chris Kirkpatrick Foundation. He was inspired to start his own organization in an effort to help the lives of underprivileged children in Central Florida. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming Joey and Chris to the stage.
Hi! How fun!
This is awesome, but I do want to say, Aunt Carol, thank you for the intro, but I did marry Joey's cousin, and I know that's what you meant, but when they're like, how did they look alike, but they're not, it's like, we married his cousin. It's like, no, I took my cousin to prom. That's different.
Well, the gag of it all is when I was at your wedding, every single person was saying I looked like a young you. So now I know what I'm going to look like 10 years from now.
That's really weird because at my wedding, everybody said I looked like a young you. So I don't know how that went over. That's kind of...
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Joey. So you're going to start this off by making a Frosé.
You called it Frosé, which I was like, this is not like a Fabergé egg.
What's it called? What is it?
Frosé, which is a frozen rosé. And I'm gonna, like, in the most simplified way possible, show you how you can make your own frosé to start. First, all you're gonna take is your favorite rosé and you're gonna freeze it overnight like this. Second, you just need frozen strawberries. Bam. Next, you need, oh, that was my water. I almost sipped that. You need simple syrup, which is just equal parts sugar and water. You boil it on the stove and then allow it to get to room temperature. And then lastly, just some lemon juice. It's super simple. I'm making it in a personal blender because I'm making it just for me because I have no friends and I'm a loser. I say that and I have friends and my sister here, so I'm excited about that.
And a lot of cats. You have a lot of cats.
I was like, I have no friends, and I literally have friends sitting here staring at me. So, so I have a pink cup, and this is probably not COVID friendly. I'm literally just like grabbing pieces of frozen rosé.
Well, it's for you, so it's safe.
Oh shit. So this is how we're gonna do this. Just put some of your frozen rosé You guys, the thing that's great about this book is that I am a professional eater and not a professional chef. So I never went to culinary school. I made sure all of these recipes were easy AF so that anyone can make them. Just ask Carly, Chris's wife, my cousin. She's been making so many, and like I'm so proud of her because she's like, I'm not a cook, but she's been killing it. So
she is kind of a cook. She's pretty good at cooking, but she made the bruschetta.
Yes.
That bruschetta was unfreaking believable. That was probably the best bruschetta we've ever made for sure. Some of the best bruschetta I've ever eaten.
So from here, I just spilled all over myself. This is really cute. Whatever, the power of virtual book tours. I'm just gonna plop in a few frozen strawberries, a little bit of simple syrup. You can also use agave nectar, or you can use honey. You can use extra. Is extra Splenda extra? Is extra a thing? Sweet?
No, extra's a show.
Extra is also like me, so you have a little bit of me and a little bit of lemon juice.
Now, Joey, this is all just by feel, or is there a recipe? Like,
so, okay, if you're gonna make it legitimate, ooh, child, I just broke my kneecap. If you're gonna make it legitimately, it's gonna be a full bottle of your favorite rosé. It's going to be about 1.5 cups of frozen strawberries. Also, opt for a rosé that's a deeper hue because it's going to make it more pink. And we love a little pink color. It's going to be the juice of 2 lemons. And I would say your simple syrup, that's totally up to you. The recipe calls for 1/4 cup, but gauge it based off of how sweet you like your drink. Some people don't like it sweet, so you can scale back. Oh, Erica in the chat said she went to culinary school. She said the easier the better. Oh, why is that cap on?
Now, are you just going to pretend like you shake it up and then have a full glass of your frosé sitting there? And
can someone grab me the thing right there? The blender thing? I accidentally got the cap instead of the blending thing.
Shake it.
Yeah.
Shake it. Shake it.
Well, I can't because there are frozen strawberries in it. So I'm going to actually make it.
Then you can't shake it.
Equal. There we go. It's equal. I was saying extra. I swear I wrote a cookbook.
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
Which is actually very funny, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Hold on. Here we go. Going.
The commentary is the best part.
Cool.
And now here's the finished product.
Look at it. I have Frosé. Like, so many people think that this requires so much time and effort. It's 4 ingredients. And then you go to the damn bar and they charge you $15 for this shit. Like, no, girl, you can make it at home. Pour it into a wine glass to be little classy. I mean, you don't have to. You could just blend it and keep it in. All right, now we're ready to have our conversation. I have a little bit of Frosé.
All right, well, perfect. Let's talk about that little Frosé. So with that, like, okay, first of all, congratulations on your little basic. It threw me at first. I was like, is that Basic Kitchen? And then the B is just there to show off, or is that Basic Bitchen?
It's Basic Bitchen. Yeah, it's there to show off. I don't know. It's so funny. The name itself came to me from out of nowhere. It was like, I'm like, why hasn't there been a cookbook done on just like that plays into the basic bitch lifestyle? Mm-hmm. And you know me, I'm like all about puns and like I almost said quick witty and I almost said quitty. Witty like one-liners, and I was Googling Basic Bitch and I'm like, how the hell has this not been done before? How has it not been trademarked? So the idea happened a few years ago and I kind of just sat on it. And yeah, that's how the Basic Bitchen got its name. But yeah, I was like, it would be cute if we had kitchen and then just crossed it out with a B.
So that's how you got the name, but it's a little more than that because Basic Bitchen is, like you just said, a lifestyle, right? Now, what exactly? I've read a lot of it, so I kind of understand, and I know you, so I definitely understand. But explain what exactly being a basic bitch is, or why it's basic bitch, and what exactly that means, being a basic bitch.
Totally. So being basic, I think it's full of a bunch of stereotypes. It's that girl or guy who just likes the simple things in life. I think there's some negative connotations associated with it, like being kind of devoid of cultural awareness. You think like white sorority girl, like who's vapid? But in actuality, I like to pull from the aspects of basicness that are universal, and that is just comfort, simplicity. There are cliche stereotypes like loving pumpkin spice lattes and wearing Ugg boots in Central Park and having your Instagram boyfriend take pictures of you. And I think there's a little bit of that inside of all of us. So that to me is still basic. I think is more so synonymous with comfortable. And that's why I wanted to write a cookbook that was like very straightforward, simplified recipes that anybody can make. At the end of the day, like I write about food for a living and travel. So I love going to different countries. I love experiencing different cultures. I love trying new foods. I'll try anything once, to be honest. One time we were tricked into trying horse meat. That was scary. Yeah, in Canada. I rode horses growing up as a kid. So imagine how traumatizing that was for me. I was like, oh my God, I just ate what I
I wrote in on
many years.
Basic bitchin' isn't just the name. It's not just it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
And it's not a derogatory thing. You're not saying basic is simple. It's because you do travel, you do a lot of things. You know, basic bitchin' is simply enjoying the basics, right?
Exactly. It's a respite from my everyday life, which is so complex. And at the end of the day, like I said, I'll try anything in the world, but I want to come home sometimes and just make damn chicken fingers because that's what I'm craving, you know? And I think that's like the basic side of me. Sometimes I want to walk through Central Park in the fall wearing a flannel and holding a pumpkin spice latte. It makes me feel good. It's something very simple, but we've obviously, you know, coined the term basic as something like, oh, like it's super popular to do. It's like, you're nothing special. And I'm like, embrace it. That's the universality of it all. We all enjoy these simple things and it's fine. Let's make it celebratory.
So in the life of Joey Skladany, would you say 50% basic, 50% bougie, or 75% basic, 25% bougie, or what's your percentage?
Is there any like Wall Street potential husbands in this chat? Because I'm like, if your net worth is over $1 million, then like I'm like 70% bougie. And I only settle for private jets. And no, I would say I'm like 50-50. You know,
50-50.
I'm very much someone, like I said, I love experiencing different cultures. I see my friend Steven's in the chat. He's one of my absolute favorite people to travel with. But with Steven, it's funny because we were in Barcelona together. We went to Tickets, which is this insanely expensive, absurd tapas place that everyone should go to if you can afford it. But then at the end of the night after drinking, we just wanted a street taco, you know, or a taco, you know. And so I think like 50-50 and balance is the key to everything. So you're talking about how much you love to travel and everything. How much has this COVID really affected your lifestyle, or you going out and doing all these things, or you getting to, you know, experience what you normally love to experience, and especially with the book, you know, you've done the book since the COVID, right? Yeah, it's, you know me, I'm a control freak. So it's like, this was not an ideal time. It's also very on brand for me to have written a book and have it come out during a pandemic. Because you know my life is like high highs, low lows. It's like book deal, amazing. Oh, by the way, you can't do a press tour, you can't do a book tour. But yeah, it's really messed me up because travel is such, you know, living in New York City, it's so fast paced. I'm like a very impatient person. I'm always looking to kind of remove myself from that environment and just take a breath. And travel is what satisfies that urge. So to not be able to go to Europe go even to parts in the Caribbean for like a long weekend. It's really affected me. I know that sounds so privileged in a way, but people have to understand I spent my entire 20s working for like this moment to be a travel editor, and I sacrificed so much. And when it came to like social situations and just I wanted to be a travel editor, and it sucks, but I do hope and pray that we bounce back.
Yeah. So you're in New York, right? I mean, right now you're not, but
I'm in Chicago right now. Yeah.
You're in Chicago, but you live in New York.
Mm-hmm.
How much has A, where you're from, and B, where you live, how much did that influence what you did with the book, like recipes, or because New York's got an amazing foodie land, and I'm sure that there's like every day you can go down the street and find something new, or was it friendships, or talk about what locations really influenced your foodie land? Shut up, Sammy. What locations really influenced your book? And that's my wife. Foodie Land.
So the Foodie Land is really great. It's like the new board game Candyland with Foodie Land.
Oh, I got the double cheeseburger. Back to the start.
You landed on truffle fries, bitch. Top 3
Hey, Wendy's got a great idea. That's our new board game right there.
Perfect. Wendy, I'm all about it.
Basic Bitchen Foodie Land board game coming soon.
It's coming.
Right,
I mean, you'll have the connections. Let's make it work. But no, it's been New York's everything. I now feel like I have a love-hate relationship with New York. I feel like most New Yorkers do. The thing about New York is you have no other choice but to be your authentic self, or you will get eaten alive. And I feel like the same applies to chefs with their restaurants. It's so difficult to be successful and launch a restaurant in New York that does well and lasts longer than 5 years. But that's why I love it, because you see the passion and the commitment put into every single dish, whether it's a hole-in-the-wall restaurant on a random street, or it's a celebrity chef, who maybe killed it in Miami and is now starting for the first time in New York. Like, I had an appreciation and a love for food. New York solidified that for me, because 9 times out of 10, every dish that you try is like made with love and attention, and there's a story behind it. And it's not just this like mass market, avoiding Times Square. It's not just this like mass, Olive Garden-esque type of situation. You literally can go to a new restaurant every single night and always be surprised and try something new. And there's no other place in the world, frankly, like it. So
where did you get most of the recipes from then? Was it, just going out and checking out New York, checking out the city? Was it going online, looking at different things? Where did you find a lot of these amazing recipes?
Yeah, so a lot of them were just things that I made over the years and within the comfort of my own kitchen. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not a professional chef. So I actually did work with a recipe developer who is amazing, Alex Utter. And she helped me kind of take what I was throwing into pots, every night, and just going like, oh, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And she's like, okay, this is what precise measurements look like. And this is how it'll translate to be in a cookbook. So she and I sat down. I came to her straight up with the 100+ recipes, being like, this is exactly what I want in the book. I know I want an acai bowl. I know that we need to add basic ingredients like turmeric, moringa. But
where did you find those 100 recipes?
Just honestly, they're so simple. They're, she helped develop them, but like it's kind of all over the web and all over the place, and a lot of them came from family, which is awesome. Like the chocolate chip cookies, it's a recipe that my sister found that we've kind of just manipulated over the years. And it's probably the most popular recipe in the book right now. So it's like a lot of tweaking favorites. My culinary inspirations are like Ina Garten and Gordon Ramsay, who I think do amazing jobs of just taking very simple, fresh ingredients. Carly's like, it's grandma. No. Grandma uses like Crisco. Grandma does not use no. It is not grandma's cookie recipe. I love.
Oh, sweet face! I do not use Crisco.
No, mine are a little bit higher end, or I should say my sister's. She's giving me a look right now, like, those are my cookies, bitch. but it's just like, it's kind of been a culmination of everything that I've experimented with in my own kitchen over the years, and like adding like a little Joey touch. And one thing that's great about the book is we have little sections called like just the tips or the more you glow, which kind of gives you a reasoning behind why I'm using certain ingredients or certain techniques. It's like the Joeyism. So
how many of those, if those were obviously Sammy's cookies and Carly says they're grandma's cookies, what are there any more recipes in the book that were family oriented recipes? Because you know, you guys have a very diverse background, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot of cooking in your background. Like it's very food friendly or food ish.
I mean, you know, grandma, like my fondest memories growing up and going to family reunions are grandma making hundreds of pierogies, you know, at the table, and just sitting there making pierogies. Sometimes she would make it with the prunes though, which I didn't like. She'd always do the like butter sauce and the cheese. And, like, those are the memories I have. She actually called me out and was like, why aren't my pierogies in the book? And I said, oh my God, I don't have the recipe because we tried to imitate. And she's like, you could have just asked Carly. So I was trying to think of, I should have put the pierogies in. But yeah, I do have my dad's mojito. And then my mom's Caesar salad, which is like bangin'. It's not like a mayonnaise-y base. She actually uses an egg white, and it's very garlic heavy. But yeah, like food is huge in my family. Like we always say, the running joke is, if you invite a Skladany to an open buffet, you're gonna lose money because like we're gonna eat the entire house down. So I just, food has been at the forefront of our family for years. And also we're Sicilian and half of the people in our family, I think, are obese. Like, it's just, we love food.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, because I think, first of all, a lot of your recipes are real healthy, right? Or they're all real healthy for the most part.
Yes and no. It's like a balance. It's like, because a basic bitch, because of basics, like she likes to live a little, so she loves culinary health trends and wants to put bee pollen in her smoothie, and she wants, like kale, But she also likes, after a breakup, to sit at home with an ice cream sundae, crying into a box of tissues, watching Netflix. So it's like balance,
So it's all pretty healthy. Even the bad stuff's kind of healthy in a way. It's good. Everybody needs some bad stuff in their life, right?
Yeah.
Now how much influence does your mom have on this stuff? Because your mom is a bodybuilder.
Yeah, my mom's a professional bodybuilder, and
she legit with food is like got to be dead on and serious. And how did that affect like how you made your recipes? Does your mom look at some of them and go, Joey, you can't have this out, this is ridiculous, this is...
No, because I think like my mom, as like, I don't know, Sammy probably disagrees with me, my sister, but with like our mom, she very much makes it her world, and she's like, this is what I'm gonna be eating, these are the recipes that I like, and if you don't want to take part, that's fine, I'm just gonna make it for myself. But she is that like super regimented, like weighs her food. When she was competing, it was like no alcohol, like no carbs, like eating every 3 hours. That definitely played a role in the health aspect of the book. And I, when I spent this summer like trying to get fit, I really did come to appreciate that type of diet, because I was like, oh my God, this takes so much hard work and effort and commitment. But I don't know. I'm more like, I guess I'm more like my other cousin, your sister-in-law, Erin, where it's all about squats and margaritas, where, I am the type of person where I will do my squats, I'll put in the work to stay healthy. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to deprive myself of a margarita, because you only live life once. And as we've learned through this pandemic, life is short for a lot of us, and you can literally get hit by a bus tomorrow. So I don't want to look back on life and be like, oh my God, I deprived myself of like the foods that I love. So
when was the first time? Because I know you said you really wanted, your idea would be travel, like doing like a travel show, but this kind of works right into it because you can also travel for food.
Yeah.
And the travel part you like, the food part you like, you know, it just makes sense to do food travel. Maybe you could go to Food Town or Foodland or wherever you're going. Foodland. But when did that click over, or has it always been there, or is this something that, you know, you're like, well, I'm in COVID now, maybe I'll try the food side of it, or has it been since Joey was little tiny and was like, you know, I love food, I love cooking, I love designing food? When did that really kick in?
You know, what's funny? It was like kind of the reverse. Like I was the pickiest eater as a kid. I got the nickname Joey Bologna because I would only eat cold cuts and mustard. And
is that really why you got the name Joey Bologna?
Yeah, that's what my dad calls me.
Okay, just checking. Go ahead.
But yeah, no, I don't know. The love for travel didn't happen until I was in my 20s. And I don't know. I grew up in Naples, Florida, and I felt like I was very sheltered in a lot of ways because a lot of people who live there do not know a world beyond Naples, Florida. And me being a closet case at the time too, and feeling a void in the area of diversity, knew that the only way I could potentially surround myself with different types of people was to either A, live in a big city, or B, travel. And travel just kind of like filled that desire to meet other people who are maybe more like me, who felt different, you know, and people who felt like they were almost a minority to society. And I just carried that love ever since. And yeah, it does play a huge role in my love for food too, because I think the best way to storytell is to try foods from other people's cultures. I think the best way we could remedy some of these situations and the divisiveness in this country is to honestly sit down with people who are completely different from you and break bread and tell a story through food, because taste is tied to so many of your senses. Or food is. You taste it, you smell it, you see it, you, what are the other senses? You
touch it. Touch
you
it.
The mouth feel.
Touch it.
You touch it, and then it brings you back to memory. And when I feel like your strongest memories are when your senses are at their peak. And food is the one thing that peaks all of your senses. So that's how I see it. I'm sorry, we're on like 7,000 tangents. By the way, this is happening right now.
No, that's all right. I think that's kind of the idea here. Yeah. So you're talking about how food touches all of your, or most of your senses.
Yeah.
You know, what are the foods that touch Joey the most? Like, what if you were going out, like what is your like favorite food? What is your favorite kind of food? We'll talk about some of your favorite recipes on here, but what food is there a particular, like you Chinese food is your favorite, or it depends on the day? How does that work into your life, Joey?
I was gonna say something nasty. You're like, what food touches you? And I was like, cucumbers, eggplant, sometimes a zucchini. My taste like varies on the day. You know, sometimes I feel like sometimes I want greasy ass French fries and ribs, and you know, I would say my two favorite foods though are, I would say Asian is like, I just love Asian, the complexities of flavors. I love the harmonious balance between sweet, salty, spicy. I'm looking at my sister right now because she's like Asian food aficionado. Like she knows I rely on her when it comes to like the new condiments and types of noodles. And when I went to Thailand, it was probably my most memorable culinary experience. Just because the food was amazing. Also, I have to give it up to like Italian food because it's just my heritage. And but I love just simple, greasy, American fried goodness. So depends on the mood. So
how about recipe wise? What are some of your favorite recipes from the book?
Oh God, this is like Sophie's choice. I don't know. Obviously, the ones that are tied to family members, just from the nostalgic effect alone, like really speak to me. But I love some of the like really simple things that I didn't think I could master before putting in the book. Like something as simple as a crepe or something as simple as the macaron, which isn't simple because it's baking and there's science to it. But there's so many things that I was actually making and thinking, oh my God, I'm not an authority to create a recipe out of this and put it into the real world. But in actuality, I'm like, no, like these recipes that I've been making consistently over the years, these are the things that people like, and they are simple. And there is a way to explain in recipe form how to do it and make it so that everyone can enjoy them. So, God, I love the cinnamon buns too. Oh my God. The dessert section is just banging all around. Like I love everything in the dessert section.
So there you go. Appetizer, main course, or dessert. Where do you sit?
Like what would I want, or what's my favorite?
What's your favorite? What do you sit down like?
Apps.
For
sure. I'm a finger food boy, and if I have like a plate of French fries, if I've got chicken wings, if I've got mozzarella sticks, I'm going to. I love to dip. When I dip,
I was gonna say sauces.
If I shouldn't even say this because someone's gonna steal my idea. I'm not gonna say the name of the book that I thought of, but I want to do an entire book dedicated to sauces. But I have a really unique spin on it, because I love sauce. I'm a sauce whore.
How many sauces are in the book?
Oh my God, so many. We've got different aiolis. We've got pasta sauces. We've got sauce like mustards that you're dipping. You know the everything in a down comforter, pigs in a blanket, and like it's like sauce heavy, but not enough for me.
So you're all about appetizers. When you made all of these things, you obviously made everything that's in the book. How difficult was that for you? Since you're not a cook, you're a foodie.
Yeah.
But what's the different process in actually cooking the food rather than knowing what goes in the food?
Totally. It actually worked to my benefit because I am so hardwired to be OCD and organized that everything eventually like made sense from like a measurement standpoint. I was like, oh, my like 3 shakes of cayenne pepper just equates to 1/4 of a teaspoon, you know? So I liked that aspect. It's like almost the math behind it. But what was interesting is putting things in recipe form was a little bit tricky for me because I had to realize, especially with like cayenne pepper as an example, I was like, not everybody's gonna want something that's like outrageously spicy. Like I have my palate, like I love spicy food, but there are some people who do not like spicy food. And I had to like take that in consideration. Like the Joey book would just be squirting sriracha on everything.
Right.
So,
but you have a sriracha shirt too, so it makes sense.
I have sriracha everything. I have it tattooed on my my ass. I don't, but I should.
No, because I'd have you show it if you did.
True, I would show it right now. But yeah, no, it was a difficult. Baking's different because even the stuff that I was baking before, it's such a science and there's so much precision involved. So that was kind of easy to. But not even, because it's like even adding a little thing, like a teaspoon of cinnamon can like throw off your batter and change kind of like the volume and the consistency. So it was a lot of trial and error, but it was fun.
Now you've got a drink section in the book, right? Where you make these drinks, which you started off with the Frosé, what is it?
Frosé.
Brut by Fabergé or Fabergé or Frosé. What's your drink of choice usually? Like, are you tequila? Are you whiskey? Are you whatever I like in my drink at the time?
I was just asked about this. If I'm doing a mixed drink, like a cocktail, I am such a vodka boy because that I think is the most, I don't know, it lends itself well to any flavor. I also am a big wino. I love wine. But I am a tequila guy. Honestly, if I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to stay skinny and I know I'm going to pound like 8 drinks after volleyball at the gay bar by our gym, it's going to be a tequila soda. So tequila by itself. But I do love wine. I love a Sancerre is my favorite white, and I would say a Pinot Noir, Sonoma Coast or Sonoma Valley Pinot is my fave.
All right, so I was also looking at some of the names of your dishes here. First of all, first one I turned to makes sense. Poke bowl. I get it. I know what a poke bowl is.
Yeah.
You know, but as I go through, a deeply personal cauliflower pizza. You know.
Yeah, Chris.
How did you come up with the names? Where was your head at? And while you're talking about the names, also talk about the actual writing of the book, because I know that there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that I didn't even realize until I sat down with it. And your little intros to every meal you make is so just it's its own little stories that I'm going through just reading those, and I love those. But how hard was it for you to know the foods, again, then learn to cook the foods, and now put it in a book?
Honestly, the writing part was easiest for me. And once I knew what the recipes were, I just kind of went to town with the writing. It's funny, people are like, how do you tie all these personal anecdotes and experiences into each recipe? And for me, it was like, that was the easy part. But part of my research is I would go through old Facebook statuses and like years ago and see what resonated most. And even if it was just a simple line, you know, something like, I really want to lick my Himalayan salt lamb, you know, like I was like, how can I morph that into something that requires salt, in which case it's like a margarita, which is a salt-lined rim, and like draw those parallels. It's also like it's almost like a case study into how my brain works. And I was asked during an interview, how the hell did you tie avocado toast to a gospel choir? And I'm like, that's just how my brain operates. It's like I have 7,000 thoughts going at once, and writing for me is like the best way to kind of funnel them all and organize them. So that was easy for me. Honestly, the best way I wrote was like, I always say there are three, if you want to write a book, there are the three best times to write. The best way, number one, is first thing in the morning. I would literally take my laptop, put it on my lap right when I woke up in bed, and write for an hour, because you're free of thoughts and I just spit it out. Second, in or after the shower, like all these thoughts would be pouring in on me. No pun intended, rain on me. But I was like in the shower and I was like, oh my God, that's genius. And I would have my phone next to my shower and I would like write it down, or I would like rush to my computer right after. Lastly, after working out, because your endorphins are high and it puts you in like a really good mood. So it just, ideas will come to you. So that's kind of how my writing process was. It was like after those three scenarios. Otherwise, it was just me crying about not meeting deadlines for a year. So you've always loved to write. Did that play a huge part in this? And you were like, whatever I get into, I'm gonna have to write about it. Like if it's your travels, if you get a travel TV show, you'll do the show, but there's gonna be some kind of writing involved in it. For sure, yeah. Writing's my passion first and foremost. I was the kid who I was writing my own like little books that like they're picture books at like 2 years old. Like I was just obsessed with writing. And when kids were playing Power Rangers and Hotbox, and God, am I aging myself?
Hotbox.
Remember Hotbox? Where you run back and forth and you throw the ball and you have to you can tag someone?
Hotbox?
Hotbox.
That's not what I know a hotbox as.
Is that something sexual?
Nope. Nope. That's you don't know what a hotbox is?
Wait, we called it hotbox in Georgia. Is hotbox like a vagina?
No, a hotbox is when you're in a nice car with the windows up. You had some great Mexican food.
And you fart?
Well, that's one way of saying it. Sure.
Wasn't it called hotbox? Yeah.
Yeah.
There are two bases on either side. I know everyone's like, Jesus Christ. We called it hotbox. There are two bases on either side. You throw a ball, and if you're one of the people who are it on either side, the people run back and forth, and then you can peg them. Oh no, it's weed. Wait, is it?
I've heard
farting?
weed too. I've heard weed. You could smoke weed and keep the windows up too, but
I'm
farting
so
in the car.
innocent.
Yeah. First of all, how popular were you in school that all the kids said, "Hey, let's get Joey to play a game where he runs back and forth, and we'll tell him he's being hotboxed and see what happens when he goes home and explains it to his parents." What'd you do today in school, Joey? Oh, I just bought my friends hotbox me. It was so much fun.
It literally is dodgeball meets Foursquare. Lauren in the chat said that. Yeah, but it's Hotbox. I'm owning it. It's Hotbox. I loved it as a kid, and Hotbox for life, bitch.
Hey, so the pictures in the book, who did all the pictures?
Oh my gosh, David Luciano. He's an amazing photographer, and he works with his wife Claudia, who's the food stylist and the chef. So they were amazing. Like when I was sent their work to like kind of judge who I wanted as a photographer, I was like, this is it. I wanted it loud. I wanted it colorful. They actually won a really prestigious Canadian photography award with this book. So I'm very proud of them. I love them. If I ever do a cookbook again, I will absolutely want to use them.
So are any of the pictures doctored up, or was that the actual food you made? Take a picture of it. Or was there like some
tricks? I mean,
McDonald's work in there where it's not so? That's not really.
This is actually me. I don't have a wrinkle in sight.
That is very smooth.
I will go on the record and say I've never gotten Botox. As I look at this vein in the middle of my head, I'm like, maybe I should, but
is it weird that I've been staring at it the entire time and I've just been talking to that vein?
Yeah, I'm like, that's cool. That was like a COVID vein that just creeped in, like me being in quarantine.
Hey, Joey, one last thing before we get into some of these questions.
Questions.
Hopefully people are going to get into. But what's next? Like, are you going to do this? Are you going to do a TV show? Are you going to do something on your, I don't know, Insta or something that people can watch? Because I've been saying this forever, especially when the cookbook came out. And obviously, you know, I've been talking to some people on your behalf or whatever. But, you know, I don't understand why you're not doing something. You've got a great personality. You're hideous to look at.
I was gonna say
you have a lot of talent with everything.
She won Miss Congeniality, but she didn't win the bathing suit round. No, I just shot actually Dish This, which is a series on Awesomeness TV. It was great. It's a YouTube series. It's kind of hilarious because all of the people that are on the show are TikTok stars. So they're all very Gen Z, and I'm clearly a millennial. I don't know. I'm just very much like, yeah, do I want a TV show? Hell yeah. Like, let's make this happen. But I don't know. I'm kind of open. I think things are like in the works. I am with CBS right now, and people probably know there was a little merger that happened with Viacom. So the TV opportunities may expand. Wink, wink. But I don't know, Chris, when are we doing our show?
Well, we've had some good titles up here so far. I saw Foodie Land,
Yeah.
and I'll throw out, how about food for your hot box? Would be a good, you know.
We just call it Hotbox, and it's just us eating and farting in a car and smoking.
Smoking weed and farting and going, did you smell that?
Perfect.
I can't tell if that's the weed or the chicken.
Pitch it to Spike TV or some like manly channel that I don't watch. I'm sure they'd be so into it.
What do you mean? Somebody just asked, and I'll start getting to their questions now, but somebody just said, why would I watch that show? Question is not why would you? Why wouldn't you?
Wouldn't
watch
you?
That show?
Yeah, you don't want to see us get
if
high.
Tiger King is doing so amazing, two guys farting and smoking weed in a car sounds right up 2020's alley.
That is exactly what 2020 needs. We need a farting hot show.
Yeah.
With food. We just get really high and we get the munchies, and then we just fart and eat in the car and then throw up because of the farting.
All right, here. Yeah, see, of course you would watch it. Everybody's saying they would watch it. All right, do we have any questions from anybody?
Q&A.
I'd love to hear your questions for Joey. Maybe I covered it.
I think you have to click the unanswered question section. I'm just
I do?
yeah, there's a see to ask a question and it says 9. I can go through. Oh, I'll answer this one right away. What's your favorite restaurants to go to in Chicago? Oh my God, I'm here right now. SKY is like my jam. They hooked me up. They're in Pilsen. The food is amazing. I also had the best Italian food at Monteverde. It's one of my favorites. I went last night. Monteverde and SKY are my 2 favorites. Absolutely. Are you seeing it, Chris, or no?
No, I don't see any of the questions.
I'll just
so
keep,
you might have to.
Yeah. How do we go about getting our presentation to look as perfect as yours? What does that mean? What presentation? Like my persona? Because I'm not.
No, actually, it's your background. It's the nice bookshelf with the
my
blinds
pictures.
raised up. No.
What pictures? Oh, in the cookbook. Oh, that requires a professional photographer. But I will say, Sarah's laughing. Natural lighting is your best friend for food photography in a lot of ways.
Okay. So I'm all over these. I got them now.
You got them? Okay, you can ask me then. You're the moderator.
Okay, will we ever get an actual book tour? Because Jordan needs a signed copy.
Okay, so I'll reveal here that I was supposed to do a national book tour with Williams Sonoma. Yeah, sad, canceled. It was gonna be like a 10-city book tour. But we will be doing a virtual event in early September. And then, and if you guys are Taylor Strucker fans in the audience, because I do her radio show, Hey Girl Hey, I'm sure there are so many people who are gonna say Hey Girl Hey right now. There you go. Hey boy, hey, there you go. There you go. Taylor, Emma Willman, and some other favorites will be a part of that virtual tour with Williams Sonoma. So I'm announcing it here first. And once we can do in-person meetups, 100%, I will travel around the country, sign your books, do whatever the hell you want me to do. I'll bake you cookies. I'll give you COVID hugs in a hazmat suit, whatever you want.
Okay, this one we kind of already touched on a little bit, but maybe if somebody's joining us late or whatever, they don't know. But okay, Erica says, okay, the title. How did you come up with it with such an amazing title?
Just on a whim. I'm always full of titles. It's funny. I always come up with the idea or like the fun marketing aspect or title before I actually like put the idea in motion. So I'm literally sitting on not just a chair, but like 20 ideas that I feel like I could pitch. You like that one? Everyone's like, kill you. I'm sitting on a bunch of ideas that I feel like I could sell with the idea alone, but my broke ass needs like a freaking an angel fund or whatever they call it to support me. So it's always that I come with the name first and then I just put money behind the idea.
Okay, this is a really good question, and I forgot to touch on it when I talked to you, but Dog Fan hates onions. Will your recipes work with garlic instead? And to expand on that a little bit, can you substitute in your recipes, and do you show that in the book or?
Yeah, we do substitutions in the book. We call them literally can't even. Oh, sorry, just to acknowledge people in the chat, Emma Woman and Taylor herself and other people will join. But yeah, so onions. If this person likes garlic and not onions, do you like shallots? That would be question number 1, because I love a shallot moment. And then I would say you absolutely do not have to put onions in your food if you don't like them. It's not gonna make or break a dish. Well, garlic is a different flavor profile, so I wouldn't say substitute, but if you like garlic and you want to, absolutely go for it. Also, if you feel like you want more of a faint oniony taste, then I would just go maybe for onion powder and do it based to your liking. So there, I'm giving you 3 options right now.
All right. Kelly wants to know, when are you and Chris going to sing while cooking? I don't think we sing together as much as we dance.
Don't. I already told you you're set up to dance Bye 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 at my wedding. I almost said funeral at my wedding. Because you've turned
it's a Skladany tradition at this point.
Yeah, if you go to my wedding, everyone, Chris will be doing Bye 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 with me at the wedding. Because I'm the real Joey now. I'm the new Joey in the group.
The new Joey.
That one's gonna be mad about that.
All right, from Shelly Christensen, what inspired you to write your book?
I think going into food editorial, there were too many cookbooks that were more aspirational instead of inspirational, and I didn't feel like there were a lot of cookbooks that were approached with humor and self-deprecation, because a lot of us like to say, oh my God, I'm such an awful chef. Like I could never, ever cook or try to. I'm into my lean cuisines. And I'm like, no, I want to show that you can. And I want you to like mess up during the process, but laugh at yourself, because as long as it tastes good, it doesn't have to look pretty. So I felt there was just a lack of that type of cookbook on the market, with something with like a lot of personality, something that was like, I'm here with you, girl. I'm here for you, girl. If you mess it up, oh, there he is. You cut out and then you wrote back. So yeah, that's. I just think I was filling a space that, I don't know. Can you guys tell me if there are any, like, I mean, Chrissy Teigen's like cravings, like some of these are like cute and I love them and I think there's a place for them, but like I wanted a cookbook where I could sit down and be like, this is freaking hilarious. So.
Well, this is another good question that kind of piggybacks off that one. Z wants to know, what's your playlist when cooking?
Well, you know that I listen to Christmas music starting in July. So.
And it better be RCD too.
You know I always put you in. So people who
Oh, really? You always do, huh?
Hello, my acknowledgements say extended Skladany family.
Hey, that's smart. That's smart. Group me in. That's fine.
No, every year I put together a curated Christmas list that a lot of people are actually probably on the listserv, where I put like 30 plus Christmas songs that I start listening to in July. Obviously, NSYNC you guys have made it every year. And I call you out every year, Chris. And I'm like, I chose this song because it's Chris's falsetto. And that's why I picked it. So, and
that's why my followers keep jumping up every minute on Instagram.
So I actually really do love cooking to Christmas music. I love cooking to like, also like, so Alyssa was in this room. My good friend Alyssa turned me on to Carla Bruni, who, you know, she sings a lot of like French cafe songs. I don't know, but I also like, my music taste varies. I like everybody.
All right, here's a question from Mara. Hope I'm saying that right. It's actually a really good question. If you could have dinner with 5 people, dead or alive, who would it be and what would you eat? Let's just go with alive.
Okay.
Dead, you've got to get into, oh, Jesus, George Washington, Moses.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln, Jesus.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln. Let's just do alive.
Adam and Eve. Damn, that's 2.
No, just don't have the apple pie.
That's amazing. Sammy.
Moses will serve the split pea soup. I don't know.
I would say, so I love 5 women. There are like 5 women who I'm obsessed with. I call them my 5 divas. Beyoncé, obviously. I'm so mad that you do not have a relationship with her, by the way, because if there's anything it could use you for, Chris, it's that Beyoncé.
You know, I wish I thought you were.
As a family member, I'm like, where's my Beyoncé call, Chris? My 5 divas: Beyoncé, Adriana Lima, because I used to pretend that I was obsessed with her when I was a closet case in high school. Drew Barrymore, obsessed. Kate Winslet, obsessed. And then I know I'm gonna get shit for this, but I've always had an obsession with Mariah Carey because she was one of my first cassettes in my boombox. And even though she's such a crazy diva, I just like, I don't know. I feel like there's a little Mariah Carey in all of us. Like,
you're hurting my heart that Dolly Parton isn't on that list.
Can I just say, Dolly Parton, putting out a new Christmas album, flipped out, put it on my Instagram. That is absolutely going to make my list this year. So get excited, everyone. B, everything she just said about, like, she was very much about staying out of politics. And her interviews that she was just doing, she's on the cover of Billboard right now, right? I think she is a Billboard cover.
I think so.
Everything she said about Black Lives Matter, everything that she just said in that interview, I was like, oh my God, Dolly, I am obsessed with you. You are an American icon. So
yeah. Well, again, all right. Quentin wants to know, would you ever do a cookbook for picky eaters since you were a picky eater when you were growing up?
Oh, I love that idea. I'm stealing it. So yeah, let's go in.
That's kind of a trick question though. How do you do a cookbook for a picky eater? Because picky eaters means they only eat certain things. It doesn't mean they all only eat the same thing.
Sarah,
they all only eat certain things.
Sarah.
I think you'd have to have a call in for like your top 50 picky eaters,
Yeah.
and see what they like and kind of do a generic.
I think it would just be like potatoes and grilled chicken.
Okay, here you go. Brittany, you meet the love of your life. What's the first meal you cook him?
Ina Garden's butternut squash risotto.
That's the go-to?
It has saffron in it. It's fancy. It has wine in it, so you can finish drinking the wine with him.
So would that be your favorite meal in your cookbook?
Well, I didn't put a risotto in my cookbook. I didn't think it was basic enough.
What do you mean basic enough?
I don't know. Risotto is kind of like challenging for some people. From the cookbook, I would make, God, what the hell would I make? My truffle mac and cheese, my mom's Caesar salad. I would make the mojito, and then I would have cookies on hand that I would heat up and put ice cream on for dessert.
What about the appetizer? Is that just the salad? Because don't you do app salad?
Yeah, so to throw in a vegetable, I would do the shishito peppers with the aioli.
Okay, Susan wants to know, have you had any good chub chow down finds during COVID?
Ooh, great question. So that's a segment I used to do on SiriusXM and now Taylor Strucker's show. I am obsessed with this chili oil that has fried garlic in it. And it's on Amazon. If you guys search for on Chowhound where I work, just type in chili oil fried garlic and put my name in. It should pop up as a recent article. It's like one of my favorite COVID finds. I put it on everything.
Are you a fan of truffle hot sauce?
Yeah, love. Truff and God, what's the other company that if they're watching, they're gonna hate me because I'm not plugging them. I do like any truffle hot sauce though, but there's one that I'm like, not hashtag sponsor, but they give me free shit. So
all right, another question from Z is, what's the bruschetta topping?
The bruschetta.
Bruschetta.
Tomatoes and but we do a whipped everyone says ricotta. We say ricotta in our household. It's like a whipped ricotta. So it's a little oh my God, Strand bookstore on it. Damn. That may not be the one though. Or maybe it is. The bruschetta is pretty normal. It's just instead of mozzarella, we do a ricotta.
All right. Well, it looks like we are probably down to our last.
Yeah, last question, I think.
Last question. Mary Beth wants to know, where can we follow you and keep up with everything, basically you're doing?
Aw, I love that because it's self-promotion and I'm selfish.
That's right.
At Joey Skladany. I was like, should I spell it? Joey. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Skladany.
I always told Carly before we got married that it sounded like a Canadian was spelling your name. Skladany.
And you can follow Chris at IMC Kirkpatrick on everything, right? That's your handle on everything.
Yes, sir.
Oh my gosh, love.
Thanks so much, bud.
Oh my God, this was so fun. I cannot believe it's over.
Oh, I can. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry right now. I gotta go eat.
To say thank you so much to everyone. Chris, thank you. I love you so much.
Of course.
I am so happy you're part of the fam. It's like, I feel like you are a Skladany. I always say like cousin-in-law, but you're like you're just my cousin.
Well, let's not get weird.
Bitch. People are already weirded out by me with Hotbox, so.
I'll see you at Foodie Land. I'm gonna hotbox you. It'll be
We're
great.
gonna hotbox each other in Foodie Land. But thank you guys so much for joining. I adore all of you and the support. And I promise, post-COVID, I will be signing books and literally just doing what everyone. If you want a kidney, You'll have a kidney. I'll give up everything to say hi and be with y'all.
For sure. All right, Joey. Love you, bud.
Love you. Thanks, guys.